Thank you, Madam Speaker. Many Manitobans, I'm sure, were surprised to hear the tragic news out of Brandon, the death by overdose of a young woman at the house of a senior public servant who works at the City of Brandon. We know that many people lose their lives to addictions every year. This does seem to be, however, an extraordinary case. We do not want to prejudge it in any way, but it does seem to put the Brandon Police Force in an impossible position to be investigating an incident at the home of someone who sits on the police board. Why is it that only after the story broke we are finding out the Attorney General called in the RCMP?
The Honourable Minister of Justice.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and I do appreciate the member asking this question, and it gives me an opportunity to advise the House of the actions that we have taken recently pertaining to this particular file. I will say the Department of Justice learned about the circumstances the last week of September, and then last Friday, October 4th, I, as the Attorney General, requested that the RCMP conduct a review into the circumstances surrounding the death of this individual and the subsequent investigation of the Brandon Police Service. So, Madam Speaker, we do look forward to the outcome of this particular review.
Here. The Honourable Member for St. Boniface on a supplementary question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This was one of 3 fatal drug overdoses that were not reported to authorities. There are many unanswered questions about these young women's death that relate to health, justice, and especially addictions. We believe the Chief Medical Examiner should have an inquest into her death. Does the Minister agree? And if not, why not?
The Honourable Minister of Justice.
Well, thank you, Madam Speaker, and as I pointed out, we look forward to the outcomes of the RCMP review of the circumstances around here. I know I did receive a letter from the Liberal Party requesting me to get the Chief Medical Examiner involved. I will table for the House and for the members the legislation pertaining to calling an inquest, and it is up to the Chief Medical Examiner to call an inquest, not the Attorney General.
The Honourable Member for River Heights on a final supplementary.
Madam Speaker, Manitoba has a disturbingly high level of violent crime. Under the present Conservative government, the Violent Crime Severity Index has risen by more than 30 points to reach 169.8. No other province has seen anything comparable. Manitoba may have a large increase in crime under this government because the government has done little to address poverty, homelessness, mental health, or addictions. Alternatively, as I table, increasing evidence links violent crime to lead exposure, and lead exposure details have been covered up for years in Manitoba. Will the government ensure action is taken rather than more study and stall?
The Honourable Minister of Justice.
Well, Madam Speaker, while the members are reading the information pertaining to the Chief Medical Examiner, I will also send them over a copy of our Manitoba's policing and public safety strategy. This strategy was developed in consultation with police forces across Manitoba and stakeholders. Now, we know we are taking the collaborative approach by working with police agencies across the province. We know what the NDP platform is. The NDP platform was to get rid of the RCMP here in Manitoba. That is not our approach. Our approach is a collaborative approach, and we're working through this strategy, and we're working with all stakeholders to provide public safety to all Manitobans.